Alright, gang, I just want to say this. Race is a very complex topic in America today, so Cliff Notes time. A UFC fighter, Michael Chandler, decided to adopt two black children. What's the problem with that? Michael Chandler is white. So, Cliff Notes time. Why is Michael Chandler, a white man, adopting two black children a bad thing? Well, answer. It's not. It's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a good thing because a lot of children end up in the foster system, and not all of them have great experiences. So, these kids, they hit the jackpot. So, why are people saying stuff like this?
Why do white people adopt black children? It's a real question for me. Why do white people adopt black children and then say things like, I'm not raising black children, I'm raising children?
I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men. I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it and being a good man of reputation. None of that has to do with skin color.
So this is UFC fighter Michael Chandler, and this is his wife. They've adopted two black children, and he recently did an interview where he stated he's not raising black children. He's raising children. And while I understand that he thinks that he means well by creating this piece of, I don't see color, let me tell you why that's a problem. Even though you claim that you and your wife don't see color, the world does. This is America. And so when those children look at you, this can be problematic because it ignores the racial and cultural identity of the child. By not acknowledging the child's racial background, you're going to inadvertently neglect certain aspects of their identity, which is black. You're going to neglect their experiences. You're going to neglect what they may go through when they get out in the real world because they will not be treated like you. So when you say that you're not raising black children, you're only raising children, how are you going to explain to them when they get treated different in the schools that you put them in, when they get treated different out in society, when they get treated different in the workplace? How are you going to explain that to them? Is race going to come up then? Another reason why I don't understand why white people adopt black children is because a lot of times white people are not around a lot of black people, right? And so you're only going to have these black children around other white people. And I'm just assuming here, I don't know him personally, but I'm just saying for the most part, whenever we see white celebrities adopt black children, they have them within their group of friends, right? All white people. When they're not just, even though you're raising them, you want to expose them to their own culture. Do you have any black friends? Is there any type of cultural significance you can give these children? Any shows, any areas, any schools, anything to show them somebody who looks like them and not just like you. When these children grow up, or what we see most of the time, when these children end up growing up, they feel lost in the world and they don't know where they fit in. Because on one side of the spectrum, you really don't fit in with the black population because you've been raised as white, even though you are black. Then on the other side of the spectrum, you're around all these white people and they don't 100% accept you because at the end of the day, you're black. So with all of these complexities, why would you not acknowledge or raise your children as black children to prepare them the best that you can in the world? This I don't see color mentality does more harm than good, because while you claim you don't see color, we know you do. And that's not a bad thing. That's not to say that anybody's racist or anything like that. But when people claim that they don't see color, you do, because you're not blind. Everybody sees color. I'm looking at this picture right here and I see a white wife and a white husband and black children. So everybody sees color. And guess what? When they go out in the world is also going to see color. So I hope all the backlash that you've been getting for that interview that you did will enlighten you and your wife a little bit to open up your mind and give these children the best upbringing, because we know monetarily you can. We know monetarily you're going to give them the best life that they can have. They're probably going to go to the best schools, best food, best area. That's all fine and dandy. But make sure you don't slip on that mental health. Because by raising them as not black children is going to psychologically mess them up.
All right, class. Pop quiz time. What exactly did he say that could have possibly made any of her argument make any sense? Let's go back over what he said, shall we?
I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men. I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it. And being a good man of reputation, none of that has to do with skin color.
All right, gang. I think he's got a point. There are things about being a man of integrity, being a man of character, that transcends skin color. You know? Things about being a man that just make skin color irrelevant. And personally, I think it's a good thing that he's trying to raise his boys to be men of integrity and character. And I hope that he is able to raise them to be men of integrity and character regardless of their skin color. Because I just feel like he's got a point. There are things about being a man, things about being a man of integrity, a man of character, that transcend skin color and just make skin color irrelevant. You know? And I don't understand why people are so mad at it. Alright, gang. I feel like she's not being very helpful in this situation, and her argument just makes her look silly. But that's just me. But if you think that was silly, wait till you hear this one.
Because of white people and white saviorism. The child welfare industry in the United States is built off of systemic oppression. Our own government recognizes that racism and bias plays a huge role in why there are so many black and indigenous children in the system.
Honestly, if racism plays any role in the foster care system, it's a very tiny smidge. Very tiny smidge. Why? Simple. Most people go into the foster system because abuse, neglect, bad home life, bad parenting, all kinds of things. Their parents give them up for adoption. Anything you can think of. But racism is way more common than racism itself being why they were taken into the system. Personally, I don't understand what these people are thinking racism has anything to do with it. It's not racism. It's called unfortunate circumstances. Bad home life, parents give you up for adoption, abuse, neglect, plain old bad parenting, all kinds of things. But racism is, if on the list at all, if racism is on the list at all, it's at the very bottom of the list, because anything you can think of but racism is a normal reason for a kid to go in a foster system. Racism, if on that list at all, is the very bottom rung. So that is a bad take. Let me know what you think of all this down in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe, because it really helps me out. And I will see you in the next one.